Galactic Federation's Luciferian Alliance. The Luciferian Anunnaki collectives made further agreements with those that have been tasked by the Sirian Council to help protect the planetary stargates and the developing and evolving angelic human races. And this particular group is the Galactic Federation. Anunnaki members that were enlisted in the Galactic Federation wanted to gain control over the Giza Stargate and to expand their expeditions beyond their current access levels in order to claim more territory in the outer domain for themselves. Thus, it was the members of the Galactic Federation in alliance with the Thothian groups that were the primary factions responsible for the total destruction and cataclysm that ensued, which thrust planet Earth into the Dark Ages, and was an orchestrated agenda of intentional angelic human genocide. Further, they have been responsible for directly concealing the knowledge of this fact through the continual manipulation and intentional falsification of written history, and the purposeful eradication of human historical records that reveal the genuine existence of the Atlantean colonies and the highly advanced technologies that were commonplace in human society during this timeline. The true and accurate hidden historical records provide the scientific and factual evidence for the direct involvement of these non-terrestrial Luciferian groups, in which they banded together as the Snake Brotherhood Kings during Atlantis. They made a secret pact called the Luciferian Covenant for the purpose of the total annihilation of the historical timelines and cellular memories of humanity, to wipe out all records of highly technological human civilizations that were naturally evolving and advancing human consciousness and authentic human culture. The eradication of all of the technology, memories, histories, and identities during the advanced civilization of the Atlantean colonies on the Earth is a conspiracy enacted through a blood covenant made with the Illuminati hybrid humans that make up the power elite and answer to the Thothian Luciferian groups. Destructive events caused by Thoth and Galactic Federation. Multiple millions of years ago, the Galactic Federation worked closely with the High Sirian Council to serve as a guardian race that would help to support the seeding and evolution process of the planet Earth in its lowest density, the first harmonic universe, also called the third dimensional timelines. About 50,000 years ago, the Great Pyramid of Giza was built as a harmonic resonator chamber within an interdimensional portal system in which visiting spacecraft could time travel and access the Earth plane very quickly, especially if some kind of intervention was needed. It also marked the location of the Stargate and access to the inner Earth. During the cycle in which the Great Pyramid was built, or the pre-Atlantean times, the Galactic Federation was tasked to protect the Stargate portal and the Ascension Chamber within it, and to intervene in case of attack from hostile intruders, such as the Anunnaki resistance. However, the true intention behind the involvement of building and maintaining these technologies on the Earth's most important Stargate was to be exploited for a full domination agenda carried out covertly by the Thothian Luciferian groups. The Great Pyramid was a mystery school for the Blue Flame Melchizedek spiritual ascension programs, and to help accelerate DNA assembly for portal passage through the inner Earth portal that was located under the Sphinx. Some patriarchal factions of the Anunnaki Melchizedeks were influenced by Thoth and disregarded the Law of One teachings. Thus, they came into direct conflict with the Blue Flame Melchizedeks that had direct access to these portals. They became increasingly hostile when they were forbidden access to the Great Pyramid and its ascension chambers. Thus, they organized a larger group resistance in Atlantis with the plan to explode the protective force field in order to take control over the Giza Stargate via the setting off of explosions. To achieve their goal, they enlisted the support of the sympathizers that were in the Galactic Federation, as many were originally from Anunnaki lineages, and felt they too were being unjustly discriminated against and were more powerful than the Law of One teachings. As a result of the infiltration that occurred from Sirius A, the Jehovian Anunnaki took control over the Galactic Federation and the Ashtar Command, joining the Luciferian Covenant and planning the final stages of the Atlantean Cataclysm with the purpose to eradicate the Earth's historical records and technological knowledge, sending the Earth's inhabitants back into the Dark Ages. These same groups were responsible for directing scalar-based weapons into the planetary field, into the Stonehenge 11th Stargate in orchestration with the Nibiruans, to erase the collective human race memories and to eliminate any trace of our recorded history stemming from Atlantis and the tragic events that led to the Atlantean Cataclysm. This became the checkerboard mutation. The checkerboard mutation is generated from multiple alien machinery systems that reverse the energy current throughout the planetary grid networks to split them into bi-wave frequencies. The bi-wave consciousness allows for extreme polarity amplification in the collective consciousness energies, and the splitting between the polarities to generate extreme densification. This is also what produces gender reversals in the human light body and gender splitting. These reversals are intended to maintain the reversal networks on the Earth plane that keep human DNA unplugged, and the Thoth groups in control of the timelines on the Earth grids. Subsequent to the Atlantean Cataclysm, the Thothian groups once again partnered with the Galactic Federation to stage several sequential invasions in the Sumerian Egypt regions in order to gain control over the demographic areas of the Stargates in the Middle East. They introduced the dragon moths from Orion into the area in order to remove the dynastic Egyptian histories that included the accurate records of the 12 tribes of angelic humans seated on the earth and the advanced technologies the Egyptians were using that came directly from the knowledge and memory of the Atlantean civilization. Erasure of the accurate timelines of Egyptian history and consistent manipulation of the information given to the public is ongoing in order to confuse, gaslight, and derail any further investigation that connects the Atlantean conspiracy to the disinformation that is given about Egyptian artifacts and supposed current discoveries. It is an active campaign of disinformation organized by those that are bound to serve the Luciferian Covenant. They continued their Luciferian conquest during the Zoser invasion to gain submission of the Pharaoh, protecting Grail Line artifacts and portal access levels. Through the use of EMP weapons deployed through coordinated airstrikes, they intentionally destroyed several ancient cities and historical records from Sumeria, Egypt, and the Dead Sea, while burning alive many of the Egyptian population that lived there. Under Pharaoh Thutmose III, Hatshepsut's half-brother, the Galactic Federation was tasked to destroy the angelic human tribes genetically coded to the Temple Mount Stargate. These groups were known as the Grail Keepers. Thus, true and accurate Egyptian history was replaced with the Black Sun agenda of inserting the Egyptian pantheon of gods, along with their black magic rituals that were to be enforced by the installation of the Setian king lines, Hyksos, and the Amun snake priesthood. These groups in the Middle East would eventually integrate into the Greek mystery schools and further evolve into the corrupted lineages of the secret societies that formed as the Knights Templars and Freemasons, some using the image of Akhenaten as their Luciferian high priest, for enacting the blueprint for the New World Order. This is an inside joke to the Galactic Federation to defame his image and make a mockery of his life. Akhenaten was a Christic being, serving the law of one, attempting to negotiate with these rogue Anunnaki groups to allow humanity to ascend in the 2012 window without interference. His negotiations to enter into a peace treaty failed. Shortly after he was murdered, a heretic king by a family member, and thus branded in history as a Luciferian high priest to the Illuminati hybrid lines. The Galactic Federation works with the negative alien groups towards world domination and are behind the mind control propaganda that the Anunnaki are the gods of the earth and this solar system, promoting themselves as the divine angels returning to help humanity ascend, to seduce the earth population into subjugation to their New World Order enslavement agenda. Thothian, Leviathan, New World Order. The orchestration of several events leading to the final Atlantean cataclysm and ripping wormholes in the Giza Stargate system was only the first stage of implementing the Anunnaki Thothian group's working alliance with the Galactic Federation, in which they combined their forces towards securing their domination agenda on the planet through the New World Order. The Thothian Luciferian group specifically groomed the Illuminati hybrid lines to be their representatives and to be the ground crew carrying out the physical tasks required to gradually implement the consciousness enslavement blueprint of the New World Order, to be fully executed during the pinnacle stages of the ascension cycle. These human Anunnaki hybrids were conditioned, implanted, and prepared to be the primary Luciferian bloodlines that would be assigned into the highest echelon of global planetary leadership and would come to be known more specifically as the Thothian, Leviathan, or Illuminati bloodlines. The Luciferian cultivated Thothian Leviathan bloodlines were sent to the North American continent to gain control over the Sarasota Grual Stargate and prepare the groundwork of what would become the United States of America. This demographic location was designated for laying the architecture of the New Jerusalem, as controlled by the Leviathan entities, for the purpose of building the main control pillars of society upon the North American ley lines that supported the consciousness blueprint for ultimately manifesting their vision of the global New World Order. The United States landmass was chosen as the epicenter for Thothian and Leviathan entities, command central for implementing the programs of the military-industrial complex and black operations that joined humans and non-humans into several covert intelligence programs and secret space programs. The United States became the primary world military power under their covert leadership in order to prepare for the final conflict or Megiddo battle, which was for gaining complete control over the Earth and humanity when the stargates opened and the planetary ascension was underway. And this brings us to the current global agendas still in play as the battle for the surface of Earth continues with those loyal to the Luciferian covenant that are setting into motion all they can to implement the New World Order objectives under the guise of socialism and into the hellish pit of communism, the blueprint of human slavery given to Marx from the Black Suns. Please only take what is useful for your spiritual growth and discard all the rest. Thank you so much for your courage and bravery to be a truth seeker. Until next, stay in the luminosity of your avatar Christos Sophia heart path. Please be kind to yourself and to each other with a loving heart until next month.